dude, municipalities are not supposed to be concerned with austerity. Before I go into this, I have to say that we all fell in shit. Like everybody shat, right? But I have to describe something like virtue signaling, white knighting, and I have to describe these things, right? So for you to believe me and shit, right? You might think it's personal. You might think that I mean that you just fell in shit and it's all right. Then we exposed the charlatan and it's a wrap. It's not that simple. It's not even that simple. Sometimes following your spirit, and following something you believe in or have passion on, right? You might get distracted or a detour, dilute you, right? Watered down, water you down, right? And they make it seem like under this condition you wouldn't be worse off or something, or you can agree with to a compromise, but the compromise you're agreeing to is worse than what you think. So you can't really imagine how a little bit of watering down might actually affect you, right? But I'm finding out right now about R. Kelly's case, right? About it's conspiratorial in its origin, but they didn't think that they were gonna do as much harm or have to go in. Like they didn't really imagine like ice picking someone and chopping them with an axe and dragging them over to the tub and doing everything to try to dissolve them in acid. You know what I mean? They didn't imagine all that shit. You know what I mean? They bit off, so basically they bit off more than they can chew, embellishing, and found support. Like everything finds support in some white knight virtue signal. And now you're hearing about this shit in other spheres where in a battle to end our own conservatorship, like Britney Spears, right? Because we're a sophisticated serf, right? I'm vibing with I like the idea of people digging up their roots in the United States and finding out that they're not slaves and learning about allodial titles and you know, if they're getting played by the system, you definitely want that to stop, right? But and a distraction, it's just like if you got distracted and you're looking at stress brought on by lockdownism and you know, maybe even different applications being updated with less functionality and less customizability, right? And you're looking at everything being like, seeming like it's being like looking for a way to cut you out of it for your effort, then you just end up like working for some you know, you're like mining for some Bitcoin for someone else or something. So you need to look for reliable what's it called, venues, platforms. What's reliable about them isn't what people say is going to be reliable information. It's just that it's going to be functional, and that, you know, you would be able to find your niche group down to the people who are really passionate about the thing, right? That are really interested in the science or whatever. Because it splits off into you wonder why it splits off into every different, because that's activities, like that's different people's that's their activity. So prefacing the when you said that the Australians were getting killed off, you were talking about COVID. I have to imagine that you're talking about COVID, right? How people want to describe that, you know what I'm saying? It could be the virulent aspect of society brought on by lockdownism and rushed, mandated, experimental corporate Chison, that you end up getting killed. Okay, so we're just going to preface the concentration camp as a center for outreach and treatment. You can't possibly believe that's a concentration camp if you're saying that COVID is killing off white people, even if it is the sun that is trying to kill white people. You're getting distracted. That's that stuff. Like, maybe there should be a caliphate where men can't get together and sign papers, you know, because it's just a way for them to talk about other men and become chatty patty and have a boss, right? So what about women? Like, should women be able to manage assets? Yeah. You know, I just think they should be able to. I'm not saying they should have to. Not everyone it's not for everyone. So, it's like, I don't want to talk against somebody that I'm really vibing with and everything, but at the same time, like, that is a concentration camp because they're killing off they're killing off their own white people or whatever. But I mean, like, how do they get to be doing that and everything? Like, I'm not smart enough to figure out how they figured out how to really fuck up the municipality. The municipality has no business being concerned with austerity, right? Only if there's a rift in the aristocracy and one side is trying to capture the push of the modality, right? Then they could try to stir up more, what's it called? What's that word? It's gonna really flip you out. Determinism. You know, because determinism is not possible in a natural human state where the land and God, you know, provide the sky god. If you want to make jokes about, you could still joke. So I'm not against cracking on white people. You know, I'm not against cracking on black people. I'm not against cracking on Mexicans or me. If I look like a crackhead right now, you know, I'm not against an analogy or whatever, but analogy is not analogia. It's analysis. It doesn't sound like analysis, you know. It sounds more like the word it sounded like an analogia. I'm just picking up little things here and there. I'll piece. It's a psychotic apprehension, and I'll amend it later.